Okay, we are live, going to be live soon. So let's begin this new paint session. Hello, everyone. Let's wait a few moments to check if somebody will join us. And let's continue. Let's begin a new project today. I'm happy that the last. Hi, Sunny. Sunny, usual check. How's the connection? Audio, video? Everything is smooth? Is okay? So last week I got some good feedback for the people for the painting. Looks like they like. So I'm happy also because as I told you before at the beginning, I'm not a painter. I just starting now. So for sure I need to upgrade my tools, my brush, some colors. Last time I was very old, but I did what I can. So the result was pretty good. Some part need to be better. Some part was already good enough for the first time. And today we change a project and I will continue to paint the Mandalorian. This is amazing file that I print from Sanix 3D. That is a great artist that is making this kind of files from long time, almost 3 years, I think. And his files are just amazing. I think I never find some more simple file to print with a resin printer. They already arrived sliced with the support, hollowing in this very good compatible with the batch to box and with my Might 8K. So I just open the file on my slicer, Cheeto box, and slice with my own settings. And all the supports are perfect, orientation is perfect, never had zero issue. Okay, the quality is good. Thank you, Sunny. So it's a really nice pleasure when you print some files like this that you don't have to strangle after for match the parts together to have some failure because the support are not good. These kind of files, it was fantastic. And really so happy when you can print something like this one. You don't need to worry about orientation, about the supports, the settings, anything. Just open the file and print. So last time I was painting this Zelda. Let me try if I can show to you. I finished these days. The face, it can be better. I need some little brush that I can reach better the eye, but I don't think you can see. I still was able to make the color on the face, but for sure that is missing some details, some three-dimensional. But to be the first face that I made, I'm pretty happy. The other parts looks good. This is the total action figure with all these weapon here, the master sword, the bow, the arrow, the shield, the battery, and of course the arm. So, and also remember that now, but with the light, it's difficult to show that this can blink in the night with the UV light here and the battery. They make some nice touch on the paint. Okay, so let's put away this one because I don't have too much space. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to continue this one. This is the Mandalorian that already start. I made the armor and I made the Mandalorian first. These parts are all not connected yet. I just put like this one because for sure to you, they are different parts. In the end, it will be something like this. Here it goes. Where is it? Here? 1, 2, and 3. After we have, let me find which one is which one. Here we have the first head with banner. Here we have Grogu, so cute. Here we have the spaceship, the Razor Crest. I hope I didn't say the name wrong. Oh, here it goes. Look how the parts match perfectly Even without the glue, they can almost stay. Of course, the head here is a little bit teeny part. Here goes the other head with a stormtrooper. Okay, 1, 2. I think the stormtrooper go first. Wait, let me check because I have distraction here. Yeah, my bad. This one goes here. If Sanix is watching here, Malix, sorry. This one goes there. Here we have the last face. Goes here. And of course, he has his weapon that goes here. And this, it will be the final effect. Okay, try to focus better. Okay. Look, all this part they match perfectly without even the glue. I really hope more people start to learn to make the files so nice like this one. Look the detail. This is printed with a resin and of course, and with a frozen might 8K. So now let's start to remove these spare parts and continue to paint. Put the rifle here. Grogu, bye bye Grogu. You sit here near to me. One, two, three, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. The cape still need to give some three-dimensional. I need to give some, probably some wash and some dry brush. So first, let's work a little bit on the cape. Let's finish this part. Let me put better the camera now. Okay. Let's try to have some kind of order. Sending the connection is still good because sometimes I saw some frame drop here. For the dry brush, we need some brush that is tough, like this one. So we can just use a light color, more light than the base color, and we start to apply very, okay, this one is quite light. I really think it's missing something here. These colors are very old. I hope they're still good. Okay. For the dry brush, we just need a little bit of color. We just put a little bit on the top, and after clean on the paper, to remove all the extra color until we have just 30, a little bit. And like this, we can start apply slowly, faster, but without too much pressure. And if you can see here on the highlights, it remaining more light, and on the deep, it remaining more dark. So like this, we can easily, especially when you have something with a texture like this one, gives a three-dimensional effect. The important is that the brush is dry. That's why it's calling dry brush. And you don't have too much paint on the brush. It's better pass more time. If you pass too much color, you will cover also inside, and you will don't make the effect that we want. So just a little bit here on the parts that is more light, more high, that get more light. Here, of course, here is more detail. You can see better the difference. You see, already get much more color like this one. Before it's totally flat, the color. In this way, we can get much more detail. It's a little bit dark. What? Okay, there's a camera. Just add a little bit color, clean the brush first, and very gentle apply the color on the top. Like this, the top, I get the color, inside it remaining more dark. Here we are, much better than before, just with a simple passage of color. Of course, we can apply also a little bit inside, but remember that it is totally covered by the chest and the rocks, so nobody can see, so you don't need to waste too much time. Here there is more light, so I apply a little bit more times. Let me see if somebody log here. Okay. In this way, I just use one brown spray for the main color of the cape, one light dry brush, and it's already good to go. All the technique that I'm showing here are the very basic technique. There will be tons of way to make better, more nice, with more effort. But this way it's very effective and very fast if we want to make some fast paint. This Beskar effect, I use the airbrush. I pass one glossy black, and after one silver, I pass 3 times the silver to get the correct gradation, and I think it's very good. This looks real Beskar. And apply here on all the metal part. We have our Beskar. Okay, so this one let's put away. Here, okay. So the rock, I already have the dry brush for the sand. This kind of action figure, if you see the original file, has very low different kind of color. Is almost everything on the brown color because it's on this in the desert probably. So I want to keep this kind of gradation. Ciao Massimiliano, grazie di essere collegato. So I want to apply the little bit brown here on the rocks, here and here, and after a little bit of gray to give a little bit more contrast. This kind of smoke I will start to make with a gray, and after I pass to the white to make like the smoke of the razor crest that is landing. If this one, remember, goes here, so all this one should be like the smoke. Right, let me check the chat. So because I already have the brown color here, let's start to apply our dry brush here. Thank you, Massimiliano. For me, it's important that somebody else also join to me and share his opinion. And how is going your Thanos, Massimiliano? See, if you pass a little bit a dry brush with light color and don't charge too much the brush, otherwise you will cover the detail and especially you will cover the flat color on the base. Like this one, the rocks already gets nice effect. It's better pass more time. Every time you can put a little bit light kind of color. And you will see a nice final effect with zero effort. Okay, the brown here is finished. Let me put a little bit more. This brown here is a citadel color, Vallejo. I'm not a big fan of Vallejo, honestly, because the cap's always losing and stuck. But these are some color that I had a long time ago. So before change the color, I want to finish what I have. So I'm trying to use only the color that I have for making this kind of stuff without go to buy too many colors at the beginning. Of course, if I need some specific color, If I need Iron Man, I need a red, I cannot use the orange. But for other kind of color, I try to make slowly for what I have. Thanos is proceeded slowly, but proceeded very good. Maximilian also is a very good painter and also 3D printer. We have the same printer. We have the flsun V400. We have the Frozen Might 8K. We use the same filament. It is on PLA. He just bought 10 kilograms of PLA plus. And also the matte, because maybe you didn't saw, but I'm making also a lightsaber with electronic part that I will make some video maybe next time. I will show you how to make a very good lightsaber just using some part from a cheaper toy, make your own guard of the lightsaber for make some amazing effect. And I'm really impressed of the matte PLA of eSUN. It's so clean. It looks like mold injection. Okay, here the first part of brown we made. So now let's make a little bit more light. So I add some. This is a white gray. It's not a pure white, and I use for making something more bright. It's better than the pure white for me. So for mix this color now, I will not use this brush. Otherwise, it become full of color, and it will be impossible to use the dry brush effect. So I use another color, another brush, mix a little bit until I get a light color. It's okay. This paint and clean. If I now use the same paint for make the dry brush, this is totally wet. I will not get the effect. So remember, for the dry brush, always use dry paint, dry brush. Now we pass very light. I don't need to cover all the detail, but only get the highlights. You see, very slowly and gentle. I'll try to put on the camera. If you can catch. All this light here. Make better contrast. I don't know if you can see in the camera, but these rocks here, look how nice crispy detail he has compared to this one. This one is totally flat still. So just pass slowly this time, very light. We just need to take the top surface of every part of the rocks. If the first part we pass fast and a little bit more heavy to cover 90% of the rocks, now we just need to take like the 10%, the highlights. If I pass too much color, I will cover also the first layer of dry brush, and it will be useless what I did before. It's very nice rocks, desert rocks. Because remember, this one following what is the reference of the picture, it looks like in the desert. So I will use more brown color than the gray. I don't put any grass because, of course, in the desert there's no grass. These kind of rocks here, I will make a little bit gray now. First, let's finish here. Okay, let me see if I can show to you. Okay, look how nice already these rocks with 2 layers of brown, simple and effective. And now when I will make this part gray and white, you will get more contrast. So first, let's pass one gray, almost everything, so not with a dry brush. So we remove our brown. We took a light gray, I mean pink, light gray here. This is Sanyo. Sunin is a Chinese brand color, similar to Vallejo. In China, it's more easy to find some kind of color like this one. Important is that you're using acrylic color, watercolor, so we don't have any problem. See, it's a very light. For this kind, I need one large flat surface, like this one. I don't need to care too much detail, but let's make a little bit more round the edge, water a little bit. And now I need to pass all over the smokes here. And I need to be sure to don't catch the brown. Otherwise, I need to make again. So now slowly, slowly, we apply here. This one you can also make a little bit more liquid, that doesn't matter. It will be more easy to pass the color. And even if you're remaining a little bit too liquid, that you can remaining a little bit dark under, doesn't matter because after we pass the gray and it's a smoke. So if you get some dirty effect, it's even more realistic. Sometimes the single color you don't get good result, but after when it's contrast with something else, it will be a nice effect. Okay, maybe it's too much liquid. Add a little bit white and a little bit more gray. I'm also very excited for my lightsaber project. I make the first one, the lightsaber of Cal Kestis, and a lot of people liked and asked me to make the double stuff because, like in the video game, he can choose to use one hand, two single sword, or one double. So now I'm printing the part necessary for making the double. I ordered electronics online, and when it will arrive, I will show to you how to disassemble one lightsaber from the toy, very cheaper toy, $10, $15, and make a super realistic lightsaber. And I made it without any kind of post process. I use the matte PLA of eSUN that it makes so nice surface, and that's all. It's really nice when you can do something like that. Okay, the difficult part is to reach the inside part here. So let's make slowly, slowly, without trying to dirty the rocks. Okay. Now let's start here with the rocks near, so you can see already the difference when you put together the white and the brown. It will be much more nice effect because now everything is brown, so the rocks you cannot see too much. After I make the white on the smoke, all the rocks they become much more nice. For the people who just connect now, I want to remember this file is from the patron of Sanix 3D. You can find the link in the description. You can also buy the single file without subscribe his patron if you want, but his files are very, very good. As I told you before, it's a very pleasure to print this kind of file that you can just open the file, open G2 box, slice with your settings, use your own resin, and it's done. Zero issue. I already print many files of Sanix. This is the first one that I'm painting, I think. Yes, because last time I just print, but I didn't paint. Zelda is not from Sanix. He was from I don't remember. You can check the previous live. And the Thanos is from Berserk 3D. They're very all good talent artists. I recently started to use the resin printer, so I'm still a little bit newbie, but I already got very good result. Normally I use the resin of eSUN basic gray, but now I want to try also something different, so I will start to use also the tough resin for making some part of the cosplay to see how is the effect, if it can resist to the impact, if it doesn't ruin it, if it's more light. So soon I will try the tough resin of eSUN, and I will tell you if for me can be a good solution for some cosplay part, because normally I use the PLA, but some very small, very detailed part with the resin is much better. The problem of the resin that is very fragile. So if it fall down or get some impact, it will broken. So I want to see if with the tough resin can be a good solution to have the good of the resin, but not the defect of the fragile part. Okay, here I almost finished this part with the white. I think today we can only make the base here because it's very big and he needed time. This part I could also make with the airbrush, but first I don't have the right color right now. And second, painting with the airbrush here in the studio is not very good. I have a painting room on the other side, but it's not suitable for the live. So because I want to bring to the live, I will use the brush. But yes, this one, at least the basic color, make with the airbrush, it will be much faster and also probably better. But the other part, like this kind of rocks, that one is much better result with the technique of the dry brush. So that one still I need to use my brush. Okay, here the color is almost finished. I need to prepare again. Don't worry if you see something different color. After we need to pass the gray. This is just the base. It's already very light, this gray. So I don't need to pass through. Here, if you see it's totally flat, it's because it goes the cape. So we don't need to worry too much. So just pass a little bit and finish. Just to be sure that you cannot see through the edge of the capes. So we can pass a little bit faster. Here's also the name, it's Annex 3D. Let me put a little bit more color. Oops, put too much. This is why I hate this kind of color, because it's always a mess when you squish the color. Sometimes it's too less, sometimes it's too much. I prefer the dispenser of the color like the Tamiya that is open, bottle you open and you can directly take what you need. This base is printed by resin. Normally I print with FDM the base, but this one was so much full of details that I prefer to print with the resin. It was hollowed, of course. If you need to learn how the basic of the resin print, here in the, if you follow the channel, one of my first live, it was some basic tutorial of resin 3D print, how to orientate a piece, how to hollowing, why you need to hollow the part, how to put the support, how to put a drain hole. So I suggest you to subscribe the channel and go to see the previous live. I also made a live to how remove the support. This one is when I remove the support, I didn't do any kind of post process. If you make in the correct way, you can, and the supports are good settings, of course, you can have such a very good print in the end, and you don't need to make too much effort on the post process. If you put the supports too much aggressive and you remove in the wrong way, after you need to have a lot of work of post process to make it smooth and almost waste the benefit of the resin. some people think that with the resin you don't need to sand anything because it's very smooth. It's not correct. You always need to sand a little bit some parts, but of course the quantity of sanding and the result in the end is totally different from the resin, from the FDM. Okay, here you need to pay attention to don't dirty the rocks, the brown. Okay, we almost finished the first layer of the white. Painting needs time. Don't rush, don't run. First, because the painting need to be dry. The second, because you need to pass through the color and be sure to don't dirty the other stuff. Otherwise, everything you made, you need to do again. Need to check the phone sometimes or check the chat. Okay, almost finished this one. Oh, okay. Around the rocks we finished, so now we can go a little bit more faster because I'm not afraid to dirty the rocks. Here again is flat, so it will be the cape. Better go a little bit over to be sure. Otherwise, after you need to refine the same gradation of color, it will be a little bit more problematic. So just go a little bit over. Here also, here they got this Razor Crest, the spaceship. Okay, here the smoke is almost finished. Okay, this part here, that anyway, it will be covered by the space, so doesn't matter. Here is totally with the airship, so spaceship, so we can cover. Because this kind of paint is very wet, pay attention to don't touch with my finger some part with the paint, otherwise after I will dirty the miniature and there will be a problem. Okay. Almost finished. After this one, I start to use the dry brush, but before pass the dry brush here, I need to be sure that the paint is totally dry. So this one I need to wait at least 1 hour. Otherwise, the dry brush effect, it will not come because everything need to be dry. And now it's difficult to show to you, but I need to reach some part hiding here. It's different to orient it and show in the camera. I'm sorry. Okay, rapid check if I've left some parts. Here. Move the miniatures in all the direction because maybe you cannot see some part under, but you need to be painted, and after you will see it's missing something in the end and is a problem. So always move everything in all the direction. Also here, designed by Sanix. He put his name everywhere. And it's a good idea. So if you take the file, you know that he is the maker. Okay, I think I passed the color everywhere. Yeah. Let's clean the brush. So this one is the effect. The light's too strong. Okay. As you see, the rocks now looks already much better. So let me try to show to you with the Mando to have the first preview. Okay, I didn't see some problem to understand how to rotate the camera every time. I would go in the opposite directions. Yeah. Okay, I didn't understand anything. That is important. One. So I can check even if some part is missing to paint that I need to cover. 2 is 3. Okay. Yeah, I cannot use the webcam today. Okay. Of course, the base is not finished. The white one, I need to become more white. You see here, everything is covered by the cape, as I suppose. Here, this part, I found a weak spot. That part I need to pass. So that's why it's good to check. I left one part. Luckily, I still have the color here. So this part need to be more white here. That is not covered by the cape perfectly. Okay. Other part I didn't see any missing. Maybe here, but here should be go the spaceship. So it's not a problem, but to be sure, let's cover now. Okay, let's clean again the brush. Okay. Now, in the meantime, let's make just a little bit the spaceship. Here, the spaceship in the picture is totally metal. So I will use one metal color. Here, I will use the gun iron. A clean pot. Always use the dry brush effect. So we take our brush for the dry brush that is clean from the brown. Okay. We take remember, take just a little bit. Remove the excess. Remaining just a little bit, and after apply slowly, and you see all the details, they come up. Especially when you pass the metal on the black, it's important to pass slowly, very light, more times, but don't go too heavy with the color or will cover all the details. And the brush must be very dry. And before the brush, okay, it's reconnected. I don't know what happened in the video. If you missed something, I got one technical issue. So I was saying that I was finished to painting here with a metal color. And after this one, I will pass one ink. Normally after the dry brush is a good way to use the ink, especially on the metal, to enter more in the details and recover some crispy parts. Okay, now that we pass our metal on over the ship, let me find a more light metal color. Let's close here the cap, don't mix the color. Let me take another metal color more light here. Maybe this one. No, silver is, yeah, silver is okay. Maybe no. Yeah, a little bit silver that I mixed together to have a little bit more bright color. Let me use a smaller dry brush. Okay, here is very dry. Just pass a little bit. On the camera, it's very difficult to see the difference. Like he got some highlight more shiny, like this one. Okay, let me see if you can see. Okay, look, here is black, and here is the metal part of the ship. A little bit more bright color here and there, without give too much. Just on the highlights, like we did for the stone. Okay, now let's pass with the ink, and here is finish. Close here. For the ink, we need to use some color that is called ink or wash or something similar. That is very, very liquid color. It's just like water. We just need a little bit, few drops, not too much. I can use the same brush that I used before, just need to be clean. Don't contaminate the color. And this kind of ink, we need to deal with a lot of water. You see? And after that, we can pass all over and let it dry by himself. This one will make the color go inside the small carving to give more three-dimensional, give more crispy details. You just need to apply one time and pass. If you pass more time the brush, the first time you apply the color, the second time you dry the color and bring away. So you need to wait until it's dry by himself. Oh, it's much better now. And with the light, it become more blinking. Now it's nice metal effect. This one need to wait until it dry. So now I don't start this part because now we don't have too much time for making also that one. And this other paint I need to wait until it dry. So for now, today we make a little bit shorter, also because I have some technical issue here. Internet is not stable. So let me close the color. Let's see how it is the effect so far. So one more time we put our Mando here. Oh, here is part of the color. Okay, where is the brush? So I will see. Here goes this one. The cape that will make the beautiful airbrush is here. Here is the head. Let's check if some part of the ship cover everything. Yeah. Yeah, but you need to stay in position, huh? Okay. Okay, start to continue to grow our beautiful painting here. There is one spot. That's important to assemble a little bit and check if you left some part not paint, so you can cover. Okay, pay attention here. If I dirty the basket, it will be a mess. Okay. So here so far, we made the rocks today, the base of the smoke, and the ship. and we make the finish the cape on the back. It's very nice and crispy detail. Here we are. I need to wait until the paint dries to continue the other part. So for today, we need to finish here. I'm sorry for the inconvenience of the quality of the live. I don't know if you got some issue. I hope everything is okay. Let me put my face. Yes. Oh, here am I. I hope the live was smooth, doesn't have too much issue. And let me know here in the comment if you like the painting so far, and what are you painting, what are you working on it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, so every week when I go the live, you can receive the notification on YouTube, and you can stay with us, stay 1 hour together, and check the future project.